Good morning, everyone! Hello and welcome to your Monday. It's the start of a new week and we're here to make sure that everything goes okay. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Rise and shine, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Let us make sure your week and your Monday is off to a great start with loads of laughter, inspiration, and good vibes. Happy Monday. I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always more fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. Monday again.
It's the last Monday of March. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, it's March 31st.
Yes.
But today's Monday is very, very exciting.
Bakit?
And I'm kind of nervous. We're
Bakit?
just leave it at that.
We're going to be put to the test
Alam mo,
this morning. Oh my
I
goodness.
cannot wait because we have David Celdran over. And we're going to go down a trip down memory lane. We're going to talk about the old Battle of the Brains. At syempre yung bago natin show dito sa Bilyonaryo News Channel, wherein we're going to have 27 pre-qualified college students to really try it out yung dating Quiz B format in the 90s. Di naabutan ni Mo eh.
No, but I'm so excited about it. I do love trivia shows and I love watching it. And David Celdran is the one. So I'm really excited for him to be here. I was kind of geeking out that he was here.
Yeah, I mean, like just looking at it, it's nice because normally, there is a history wherein Anne looks at our scripts and pretends not to know about the surprises that we have on the show.
Thank you to our EP, Miss Kelsey, for not posting the questions because Anne was ready.
I know. I was actually asking.
Them.
I was actually asking Kels, can you just give me a cheat sheet because
Daya!
no, but she didn't.
Yeah, no, that's
Daya
because
mo, not Kelsey. She's fair. Ikaw hindi fair.
that's because we're here to to uphold the integrity of the quiz.
Yes, integrity. Tapos sabi niya, yes, as she wants the
Sabi niya,
answer.
yes.
No, I just got so scared. Because she was like, it's high school level. And I'm like, the last time I was in high school was what?
What, girl?
Decades
What year?
ago. How many decades ago?
What year was that?
Was I in
No,
high
pero
school?
sabi, no, but to be fair, so if you feel better about this, sabi ni David, I was on him off the air, college level daw.
So that was just a decade.
So
maybe.
it was not as far away. Okay, so let's see. No.
I am scared as heck.
And I asked,
really.
wala daw physics. So okay
Oh,
tayo.
bless, I barely
Wala daw
passed physics.
But all of that aside, we obviously have a lot of news that they could use. We also have a lot of conversations we can have also apart from the show itself, syempre, about the state of the intelligence of Philippine TV and all of that, considering that sometimes yung trivia, hindi naman trivia, general knowledge is not quite there.
Oh, these are facts actually. I'm curious, how long has it been since the last
2001
airing of...
was Battle of the Brains, the last one.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, 1992, 2001, and the old RPN 9 channel. And then I believe the last season was actually hosted by sports colleague of mine, actually, Chikiro Apuno.
Yes.
So that's the history of that. But syempre, we're going to get to talk about that later on.
Okay. This is going to be an exciting show. My goodness, we are going to be put to the test. But before that, of course, we always start with news that you can use. Let's begin with a look at the major roads in Metro Manila at this hour. Let's see kung traffic na. Let's take a look at EDSA White Plains. On the left side is the southbound lane going to Shaw Boulevard. You're going to be stepping on your brakes. A bit moderate traffic already building up on that stretch. Right side is the northbound lane headed to Cubao. We're seeing light to moderate traffic on that area. Now here is the situation along EDSA Guadalupe Bridge northbound. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. And on the opposite lane, vehicles bound for Makati, light to moderate traffic on both sides of EDSA. Now, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Monday, guys. Vehicles with license plates ending in 1 and 2 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Now, motorists, y'all better gas up now because fuel prices are expected to go up this week. Gasoline prices are expected to soar from 85 centavos to 1 peso and 35 centavos per liter. Diesel prices are seen to go up by 75 centavos to 1 peso and 25 centavos a liter.
Kerosene is also expected to increase by 95 centavos to 1 peso and 10 centavos per liter. The Energy Department says the U.S. sanction of Iran and tariffs on Venezuelan oil are some of the factors behind the price hike. Now, what will the weather be like on this Monday? Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Mo. Let's take a look at how the weather is at this Monday. The easterlies are currently impacting the entirety of the country, so that's why we have the big easterlies right over here. The easterlies affecting the entire of the Philippines. Now, this weather system will bring cloudy conditions with scattered rain and thunderstorms over the Bicol region in particular, as well as Quezon and eastern Visayas. Now, also affected will be the Nagat Island, Surigao del Norte, and the Zamboanga Peninsula. Residents in these areas should be alert for possible flash floods or landslides due to the moderate to heavy rainfall expected today. Now, let's zoom in on Palawan. There is now a low pressure area near that particular region, which will cause cloudy skies and scattered rain showers with thunderstorms. As you can see here, the LPA near Palawan, not quite there, but affecting the weather around this area. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the country. Now, the rest of the country will experience partly cloudy skies, which are expected to prevail throughout with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms that could occur particularly in the afternoon or the evening. Now, we're talking about a lot of rains, but there's still a lot of heat in the system we have to take a look at. Now, these are all issued by Pag-asa. Two locations are currently experiencing severe heat and fall under the danger zone. Now, these cities are Dagupan City in Pangasinan, which leads the list with a forecasted heat index of 44 degrees Celsius. Now, this is actually lower than what we had last week at 47 degrees Celsius. Now, following them is Verac Catanduanes with a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius. Now, other areas facing intense heat and falling under extreme caution with a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius include Sinait in Ilocos Sur, Lawag in Ilocos Norte, Coron, Palawan, San Jose, Occidental Mindoro, Cuyo, Palawan, Roa City in Capiz, Iloilo City, Dipolog in Zamboanga del Norte, Cotabato City in Maguindanao, Hinatuan in Surigao del Sur, and Butuan in Agusan del Norte. Additional locations under extreme heat caution, or rather extreme caution, with a heat index of 40 degrees Celsius include Daet in Camarines Sur, or Camarines Norte rather, Masbate City, Pili in Camarines Sur, Tumangas in Iloilo, Davao City, and General Santos City. Once again, stay hydrated. Be sure to take precautionary measures to ensure that your safety is at the forefront here with these severe conditions right there. Now, let's take a look at the sea conditions. There are no gale warnings, so that means if you're going out to sea, make sure that you do enjoy your time there. But remember, the weather conditions could change at a moment's notice. So remember to stay vigilant and stay informed about any weather updates or advisories that may be issued. As again, weather conditions can change quickly, so it's always best to prioritize safety and be prepared. Well, for the moment, that's Weather HQ. Back to you, girls.
Thank you, Pao. In other news, Elizabeth Zimmerman, mother of Vice President Sara Duterte and ex-wife of former President Rodrigo Duterte, arrived in The Hague, the Netherlands. She joined VP Sara yesterday amid ongoing developments regarding the International Criminal Court's investigation. It is not yet clear whether Zimmerman will be authorized to enter the detention facility, but VP Sara had previously said Zimmerman insisted to fly to the Netherlands with or without a guarantee of a visit.
Meanwhile, Dutch authorities remind supporters of former President Duterte that they secured a permit to hold a picnic and not a political rally. That's after a massive crowd showed up near the ICC in support of the detained ex-chief executive. Attorney Karen Jimeno reports.
Supporters of former President Rodrigo Duterte continue to gather outside the ICC detention center in The Hague, holding a picnic in honor of his 80th birthday, which he marked on Friday while detained on charges of crimes against humanity. On Saturday, former Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III joined the crowd, adding to the growing number of Duterte loyalists demanding his release. 3 buses from France arrived carrying more supporters echoing the call for Duterte's freedom. Former PAGCOR President and CEO Attorney Alfred Lim noted that Filipinos from Germany and other neighboring countries also made the journey.
Ang dami-daming mga Filipinos coming from different countries. You can just imagine the trouble and expense of coming here just to be able to express their sentiments about what happened to our beloved president.
Among them is Rhea Bustamante, who flew in from London, taking unpaid leave from work just to be there.
I had to ask my manager for unpaid annual leave kasi wala na akong remaining na annual leave eh. So I had to ask her to give me that kahit one day lang so I can be here for FPRRD's 80th birthday. That is really important to me. Make me happy and to even though he doesn't know na nandyan ako or anuman, at least I came and I know in myself na sumuporta ako sa kanya. So I'll be coming here every month until he is released. And kahit mahal man, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Why every month?
Kasi mahal ko si Mr. President. I don't want to cry. Because he could be my dad. And for everything that he's done for our country sa Philippines, naiiyak na ako.
From South Wales, Jay Sason also made the trip, saying he has been struggling to sleep ever since Duterte's arrest and detention.
Sir, taga saan po kayo?
Ma'am, taga South Wales, United Kingdom po.
Bakit pumunta pa kayo all the way from Wales dito sa The Hague?
Hindi po ako makatulog, ma'am, for 2 weeks na medyo talagang nasasaktan po ako. Dahil sa ginagawa ng ating gobyerno Marcos po.
Ano pong greeting niyo for former President Duterte sa 80th birthday niya?
Happy birthday po, former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Sana po, dasal ko po na God will give you additional strength and comfort and peace. At dasal ko rin po na ibabalik kayo sa bansang Pilipinas.
Meanwhile, overseas Filipino workers in Croatia, unable to travel to The Hague, gathered at the local park on Sunday morning, waving Philippine flags and holding posters, expressing their love and support for Duterte. They sang, chanted, and stood in solidarity with the detained former leader. Reporting from The Hague, Netherlands, this is Attorney Karen Jimeno, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
The Philippines extends a helping hand to neighbor ASEAN countries after a 7.7 earthquake hit Thailand and Myanmar. House Speaker Martin Romualdez said the Philippine government will help through relief efforts. He also said efforts are underway to ensure Filipinos affected by the earthquake are offered immediate assistance.
2 people were killed in a plane crash in Lingayen, Pangasinan Sunday morning. Another was reported injured. Local authorities confirmed that a 32-year-old instructor and a 25-year-old student pilot were flying the light aircraft when it crashed in Libsong East. Witnesses say the plane descended rapidly before making impact. Local authorities and aviation officials have launched an investigation to determine the cause of the crash. The identities of the victims have yet to be released.
Manila Mayor Hani Lacuna slams her rival Isko Moreno for not being a man of his word. In an episode of Tony Talks with host Tony Gonzaga, Lacuna looked back at Moreno's earlier promise that they would never face each other in any election. This after Moreno paved the way for Lacuna in the 2022 polls as he pursued his failed presidential bid. Lacuna also criticized Isko for leaving behind 17.8 billion pesos in debt for the city to pay. But recent surveys indicate a landslide victory for Moreno in the race for Manila Mayor.
Over in Caloocan City, the rivalry between incumbent Mayor Along Malapitan and former Senator Antonio Trillanes took center stage. Malapitan told Trillanes to come back where he came from after the ex-senator's motorcade passed by his caucus. But Trillanes' team chose to ignore the mayor's comments. The former senator has maintained that he is a Caloocan resident, having grown up in the city's 1st district. But survey shows Malapitan enjoying a huge lead over Trillanes at 85%. The former senator is trailing at the SWS poll by 10%.
Now in world news, the toll from Myanmar's earthquake continued to rise as foreign rescue teams and aid rushed to help. The 7.7 magnitude quake jolted the Southeast Asian nation on Friday, leaving around 1,700 people dead, 3,400 injured, and 300 missing as of Sunday. The devastation has piled more misery on Myanmar, which was already in chaos from a civil war in 2021. Authorities estimate the fatalities could be between 10,000 to 100,000 people, and the economic impact could be as high as 70% of Myanmar's GDP. U.S. President Donald Trump threatens Iran with bombing and secondary tariffs if Tehran does not come to an agreement with Washington over its nuclear program. Last week, Iran rejected Washington's negotiation that would lead to the total shutdown of Iran's nuclear program. The West accuses Iran of having secretive agenda to develop high-level nuclear weapons, which Iran denies. Tehran has so far rebuffed Trump's warning and said that the U.S. must regain trust with Iran for formal diplomacy to resume.
Oh, just a reminder, as we move on to sports, sumakses si Alex Ayala. Filipino tennis star Alex Ayala revisiting her Cinderella run at the Miami Open with pride and gratitude. Over on Instagram, the Filipino sensation says she was proud to have made a statement for the country in one of the biggest stages of tennis. Ayala also says she hopes the support she has received will continue through the highs and the lows. Alex also says the real work starts now. She explains that while her impressive run has opened a lot of opportunities, there will be a new set of obstacles that she will have to navigate through. Ayala's dream run in Miami ended on Friday against 4th seed Jessica Pegula. The Filipino, though, became a crowd darling after defeating 3 former Grand Slam champions, including world number 2, Iga Swiatek. Over in the UAAP, the NU Lady Bulldogs get back on track in round 2 of the women's volleyball tournament in season 87. The defending champs escaped a tough FEU Lady Tamaraw team in 4 sets on Sunday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Eliza Solomon led the Lady Bulldogs to 30 big points. NU remains on top with 9 wins and a single loss after last week's upset care of UP, while FEU is at 3rd with 6 and 4. Speaking of UP, the UP Fighting Maroons cruised past the UE Lady Warriors for their 2nd straight win. Joan Monares led the girls from Diliman with 13 points. UP is now at 5th with 5 and 5, while UE has yet to register a win this season after losing 10 straight. Over in boxing, a hard-fought win for Filipino boxer Melvin Jerusalem over in Japan. The 31-year-old prizefighter from Bukidnon scored a unanimous decision win against Yudai Shigeoka on Sunday to retain his WBC minimum weight world title. Jerusalem now improves his record to 24 wins and 3 losses via 12 knockouts. Now, the Filipino may next face Puerto Rico's Oscar Collacio in a potential unification match.
Now in entertainment news, actor Ian Glenn gives us a look at his upcoming role in the biopic Quezon. The Game of Thrones star is playing U.S. Governor General Leonard Wood in the much-anticipated film led by Jericho Rosales as Manuel Quezon. On his caption, Glenn wrote that he is working alongside a really wonderful cast and crew. The movie, directed by Gerald Tarog as part of the Bayani Verse series, is now in production.
Grabe, you know, it's so great that we're gonna have Ian Glenn coming in playing such a key historical figure in Philippine history. And I just wanted to know, Mo, what do you know about the American occupation of the Philippines back in 19...
Wow, I really thought
Quiz
This is such a
part
quiz
one?
show version of
Guys, I woke
It's a
up today
beautiful
not
day.
prepared, but all I know is that the Americans helped the Philippines. That's
Oh, that's so interesting coming from a Filipino
That's
American.
what they taught us.
Wow, that's so interesting.
That we
It's
helped
so
the Philippines.
vague too.
Yeah, ooh.
But we actually, you know what? If you guys have watched White Lotus and you know the girl from North Carolina, Victoria Ratliff, she says Taiwan instead of Thailand. It's true though, because people in North Carolina, they think like the Philippines that we're part of China.
Oh, okay, wait,
So we're
wait,
not,
wait,
no,
wait,
I'm just
wait,
saying
wait.
we're not even on the history books. I'm just saying in U.S. history,
Seriously?
we didn't even learn.
Because in the
Philippines.
because in the
Anything about
because in the
Philippines.
U.S. it's interesting because the U.S. for example in the Philippines we call the Philippine-American War the Philippine-American War, but in America they call it the Philippine Insurrection.
But we
because
didn't even learn about that.
because at that time we were a territory of the United States.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the Philippine American history is super interesting. I think you should read up on it. At I don't know if it's going to be the questions later because we have a little quiz bee going on.
Fail
Ooh,
that.
I
But
am so
let me
interested.
just flex. We had like a Jeopardy game before in college, and one of the questions was about General MacArthur. You know, thank God this girl read, and I know about General MacArthur.
Which one? Douglas or Arthur?
Douglas MacArthur, who landed in Bataan.
Yeah.
And nobody knew the questions, and I answered it, and they were all so shocked. So let me just flex that
I'm
before
so
I
proud of
fail
you.
the quiz bee later.
I'm so proud of you.
You know,
But-
David's listening to our conversation. He's smiling there at the time.
I'm obsessed with this. I cannot wait to have
Oh
a
my
long
goodness.
conversation with you after the show, Mo.
I'm
my
sweating
goodness.
already about this. Oh my God, David's judging me already from behind the camera.
Please don't judge us, David. You know, the only B that I aced back in high school was the spelling bee. Not really the
Give her a spelling bee question later, David.
spelling bee
Oh,
lang.
that's so good.
But anyway, guys, recent issues on social media harken back to an era where educational game shows reigned supreme on Philippine television. That nostalgia ends this May as iconic TV host David Celdran makes a comeback with Bilyonaryo Quiz B. We catch up with him after the break. Stay tuned. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Intelligence is back on Philippine television. The iconic host of the 90s intercollegiate quiz show Battle of the Brains, legendary quiz master David Celdran makes a comeback with Bilyonaryo Quiz B, a brand new competition designed for the digital age. He joins us this morning to tell us all about it. Please say hello to David Celdran, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, David,
Good morning.
and
It's a beautiful
welcome
day.
to the show.
There's a big prompter in front of me. It's a beautiful day. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Yeah, intelligence is back, but not because I'm back. I mean, that's not the point of the line.
Yes.
The show, the whole, the whole idea of bringing back an academic quiz show where college students compete with each other. That's what we mean by intelligence is back.
that's
People might be
right.
thinking I'm saying David Celdran is back. No, that's not. That's
But
true.
David, for those who don't know, let's try to fill
Yeah,
that generation gap. Take us down memory lane
Ooh.
when you hosted Battle of the Brains from 1992 to 2001.
Okay, you're probably you weren't born yet.
I was born 93.
I was asking Paolo in the makeup room. He said, "I think I was born."
Yeah, I was
before."
2 years old when the first show
So there you
came
guys
out.
were in
Yeah.
preschool. Yeah, this is like a '90s era kind of trivia question. You know, you grew up in the '90s if you knew Battle of the
Yes,
Brains.
yes.
Because
That's
then
true.
you would have been either forced to watch by your school, or you would have competed or had someone you knew who competed. But it was a tough show to mount even in those days. We're sandwiched in between these really big noontime entertainment shows on the major networks, and we were like this small quiz show on RPN 9 back then, which no longer exists, of course, in name. So yeah, it went on from pretty much the entire 90s decade, and it had elementary, high school, and college, and it was iconic because it was not a first of its kind. There have been many quiz shows in the past, but it was iconic in the sense that it lasted so long, number one. Number two, it was true to its mission of really being academic. So it's kind of tempting to pander to the audience and come up with some really silly questions and all that stuff. So it was trying to be entertaining, but trying to be cutting edge in terms of the information. Yeah, this is like, I think our grand finals, if I'm not mistaken, in the first year. And a lot of those guys have turned out to be quite popular people, successful in their fields. We were getting the best and the brightest of each of the schools, and we were nationwide. I mean, we had schools from Mindanao, Visayas, so it was a true national collegiate program.
I'm sorry, I'm looking back at this and I'm thinking, wow, you age beautifully.
Oh, look at the vintage clothes. Vintage hairstyles. But it's back. 90s are back.
The quiz show format, a lot of it depends on the quiz master, and that leads me to the question, really, just how did you get that gig? What was your first thought when you were asked?
Yeah, I know, I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't a bad student. I mean, I was in the honor section in high school, in elementary, I was in UP Diliman. But I wouldn't be considered like a genius, not at all. Until today, I don't consider myself a genius. But I'm a very curious person. I love reading. And I guess communication skills are important. Pat Sajak of Jeopardy, for example, maybe couldn't answer all the questions that he asks. So, the quiz master doesn't come up with the questions himself. But he has to know enough to be able to kind of fill in the blanks, provide context to the questions. So yeah, it could have been anyone else, Paolo, but they chose me.
No, that's perfect. We actually saw Sam Versosa there as part of the list there.
He was the champion in the high school category in his time.
So I feel like if we go back and look at the old episodes, we're going to find more familiar names there as well. It seems so fantastic.
It's funny. People come up to me and say, "I used to be your contestant." And they're like vice presidents. They're like in government, high-ranking government officials. I mean, when you think about it, these are the best and brightest students nominated by their schools. And a lot of these were like, the best public high schools, the best private schools. And if you were nominated by your principal or by your teachers, you had a career ahead of you, for sure.
You had something going. I mean, let's fast forward to today. I want to ask you, how do you feel about making this comeback, especially here in the Bilyonaryo News channel? Because I feel like in Philippine television, there's not much trivia games, right? So I feel like it's a good thing as well for the younger generations to watch. Like I grew up watching, not here in the Philippines, but in the US, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Jeopardy, and I love just learning about stuff, like random stuff.
I'm excited for sure, especially since, if you go back to the 90s and you fast forward to today, as you asked, there's a dividing line, the information age, the age of the internet. In the 90s, most students didn't have access to the internet, not even to a laptop. I mean, in the 90s, did you have your own laptop?
Encyclopedia, nung time na yun, right?
You were using a modem to connect to the World Wide Web, which was really slow. And not just that, you didn't have the Wikipedias, you didn't have all this information at your fingertips. I want to see what students today are like now that they have literally any information, all information, in their fingertips. And AI does such a great job of providing answers. But then again, not everything you read or watch on the internet is factual. That becomes the interesting thing. There used to be a consensus on what was true before. We had Encyclopedia Britannica with all these things. And whether they were true or not, that was our basis for what was true, at least historically or scientifically. Today, it's like there's so many rival explanations, so many rival truths, so to speak. So really, like your conversation earlier, I was listening and like, everyone has their own truth, and I think that's going to be quite a challenge in this year's competition, considering we're gonna have to be sure our research is good.
Yeah, parang ang daming reality.
At ang daming updates. No?
That's true.
History is always updated.
Yeah.
What was true in the 90s, suddenly a new archaeological find would say that it's no longer true.
Like, one of my favorite ones is when people discovered that Pluto's no longer considered a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if
stuff
you
like
grew
that,
up in,
yeah.
if you grew up right after World War II, you had a different truth to that.
Yeah.
Than today.
I agree.
There's just this recent discovery about the pyramids, for example, and like it's debatable, but who knows? I mean, in 5 years from now, we might have a different idea of what those pyramids were really about.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing about having quiz shows. Really, they're like time capsules, right?
Yeah.
Of what was considered factual
Right.
in that decade.
In a certain period of time. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different generation now, from the last time that you hosted Battle of the Brains. This batch of students that are going to be joining Quiz B is a totally different generation. And you mentioned it's the digital age, right? What excites you about this new batch of students? And what are you expecting from them as well?
I have no idea what to expect in the sense that my expectations are high because, again, I didn't grow up with the internet. I didn't have access to all the information.
Yeah.
You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram. There's just so much information in there.
Yeah.
Whether it's garbage or whether it's precious. But this is an information savvy generation, and I want to know if access to information itself is enough to make you intelligent. Because my feeling is it's more than just access. My feeling is you have to have the critical analysis.
Yes.
You have to have the ability to ask the right questions. It's like I throw you into a library. And if you don't know what you're looking for, the library is useless, right?
Actually.
Right.
If I put a computer in front of you, and you don't know what questions to ask, even AI is useless. AI is a tool, right? So this is a generation that grew up with a lot of information, but is it enough to get, is it enough to really be considered intelligent just because you have access?
Yeah, so the show will be telling. So I'm excited
Hopefully,
to see.
yeah.
And also, they're bombarded with so much information, and everything's like encapsulated in a very short form kind of media, right? So it also affects their attention span and everything. Plus, to filter which ones are real, and then which ones are actually fake information.
Because even Wikipedia is debatable. I mean, the model of Wikipedia in itself is supposed to be an ongoing debate. That's why you have editors.
You can always edit.
You can always edit, and there's a lot of stuff that is propaganda. That's that has to be verified. So it's not just a challenge to the students. I think who'll be on the show. It's a challenge to us, our researchers, to make sure that the questions have definite answers.
Right.
These are not like debatable, open-ended, subjective questions.
Yeah, just looking at the entire history of it, like we just talked about their year 7 at that point. But then you've done it for so many years. How would you say your time hosting originally the Battle of the Brains has affected you in your career? How has it changed your life in particular from a personal perspective?
Wow, never really asked myself that question. Because I've also had a career in the news.
Yes, you did.
Alongside Battle of the Brains. And I would say that it gives me I've always been, I think the show has given me this sense of really wanting to uplift the educational standards in the country. Because I've seen the best and the brightest. And, these kids can do it. Given the right motivation, given the right environment, given the right training in school, and if these kids can do it, there's nothing special about them that would be different from maybe some other kid in a low-income community. And what has inspired me especially is some of the champions, if not many of the champions, come from the public school system. I'm not talking about the Manila Science and the Philippine Science schools. I mean, of course, that's obvious. No? But even like, provincial colleges, provincial high schools, provincial public schools. I mean, education is the great equalizer, as we like to say. And you just give them the same opportunities. I think they can compete with the best anywhere in the world.
It's so interesting because one of the reasons why a lot of people are interested in a show of this nature at this point in time is because we've seen in certain other shows sometimes when trivia is being brought up, they're not necessarily trivia shows, but then when there are trivia segments in those shows, maraming nagva-viral na
Yeah.
questionable answers to
Oh
certain
my God,
things.
that's such an easy question. How could you give that
Yes.
answer?
Does that encourage you to do this better? I mean, I don't know. What's
Partly.
Yeah, how
Although
do
I
you
think
feel
it's
about that?
unfair to like judge those kids. No?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, those who aren't naman the valedictorians in their schools, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they're just random contestants, and then you throw this question. The lights are on.
Yeah.
They're not used to it. You know, even I would have a hard time maybe answering.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
there's a
not
showbiz
fair.
idol in front of you.
Yeah.
It's not fair to judge them. But I think you know, intuitively we all know that there's a crisis in the country in terms of education, in terms of the kind of knowledge that is the standards of knowledge in education, and it's a very complex crisis that obviously we don't intend to fix with one show. If anything, I just want to say, in the Philippines especially, we look up to our athletes. We look up to our, the UAP, for example, is like the biggest show, or the other leagues, for example. People follow them, there's a fan base. Same goes for Alex Ayala now, for example, Kaloy Yulo, our showbiz, artistas and everything. I'd like us to have a culture where we also kind of look up to, academic
excellence.
excellence and accomplishments. That
okay.
if you're the Quiz B, Bilyonaryo Quiz B champion, you're like a rock star.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that would be so
All that.
interesting.
You're like,
I'm excited for
You're like
that.
the cool guy in school,
Right.
Not the nerd that's ignored, right?
Yeah.
It's the athletes that get all the attention,
Right.
And
Yeah,
why
it's
not
so
these
true.
guys? Who,
Yeah, if there's a UAP MVP, there's also the MVP in the
All
Quiz
right,
B.
Bilyonaryo
Right?
Quiz B. That's a great idea, actually.
let's put them on a pedestal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I mean, like Paolo earlier mentioned, Sam Versosa used to be your contestant, and you've mentioned as well, some became the vice presidents, and all that. Has there been one or like a few that you have kept in contact with?
Ooh, okay. On cue, Orion Doom Doom is on. I'm not in contact with him, but I see him on the internet. He's become such a resource person for constitutional reform. He's got a very interesting podcast, vlog, whatever. And many of them, come up to me. But do I have like a friendship? Maybe not. But I like that they come up to me when they see me and like, hey, I remember you. I was your contestant. I never made it that far, but I enjoyed myself.
Aw, that's sweet that they remember you. But what can we expect now for the Bilyonaryo Quiz B, and how is the format of the show? Is it similar?
Yeah, okay. I mean, first of all, I want to thank the producers about The Brains who really paved the way for a show like this. Now. But of course, this is an entirely new show. It's Bilyonaryo, obviously. It's why we have Bilyonaryo. I wish we could give away $1 billion to the winner. Who knows? Maybe
Sasali kami.
Eventually.
Sasali kami. I would apply in college again just to join and be a student and be
We're
eligible.
giving out $1
We'll
million
root for you,
pesos.
Pao.
We're giving out $1 million pesos. That's substantial for a college student.
Yeah, that's a lot
And that's
more
just
than
the grand. That's just the
substantial.
grand prize, okay? I mean, as you rise up the ranks, elimination, semifinals, you earn a lot of money. But it's not about the money, of course. It's the prestige of being the champion
Right.
of Bilyonaryo Quiz B. And it's going to be different. For one, it's shorter. It's 30 minutes.
Yes.
So it's quicker. Again, it's a new generation.
Yeah.
Okay. And second is, it's just going to be college students.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're also starting out, so we want to make sure we start out with getting college students. Eventually down the road, who knows? It's up to Bilyonaryo really and us to discuss. We're thinking about maybe opening it up to professionals,
Oh, that would be
opening up
good,
to journalists
actually.
maybe.
Yeah.
Like the
that's
journalist
so
Quiz B,
That's-
like
oh,
Yeah,
that-
you should do different
that's
themed
super
ones.
interesting.
historians or scientists,
Yeah.
or in other words, it's not necessarily just a college.
Yeah, it's open-ended.
It's open-ended, but for now, we're going to start with college students. And so far, we have some really interesting applicants, which is why I think it's very important that you have me here, because the application period ends on Friday. It's April 4, the end of this week.
Yes, April 4 is
April 4.
Friday. Yes.
So we still have some slots open. So if you're watching, or you have children, you have friends, office mates, well, you got to be a college student though, but yeah, some people work.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a week left to apply. Just the QR code's on screen. I think the URL's on screen. The application forms are all there. We want to get the best, the brightest. And even if you don't feel you're the best and brightest, why not,
Yeah,
take a
let's give it
shot.
a try. Yeah.
You might turn out to be the best and the brightest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't
You never
surprise
know
yourself.
until you try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of you never know until you try.
And speaking of surprises,
Yeah,
my
we are
goodness.
all surprised. Even David is surprised
I
because we
know.
have a mini It's a Beautiful Day little quiz
Exactly.
show coming up.
Later on the show, guys, David Celdran will give us a glimpse of his game show hosting skills, and he's going to be exposing Pao, Mo, and myself in a mini quiz bee. Here we go. That after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Let's do this.
I'm so nervous.
Hi there. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. The legendary quizmaster himself, David Celdran, puts us to the test in this mini quiz bee on It's a Beautiful Day. Take it away, David.
Yeah, I know. We're all surprised, right? I mean, like, I come in the studio expecting an interview, and like a producer comes up to me and says, "We're gonna do a surprise quiz show and test the
my
knowledge of our anchors."
goodness.
And I'm like, "Okay, let me see the questions." And
Putting
let me
us
just
on
say,
the
these are not
spot
easy
like this.
questions.
Yeah.
But I think you're smart enough to answer these questions.
I'm so
And the best
nervous.
part is it's a multiple
goodness.
choice quiz.
Multiple
So you can
choice
just
is
guess. Pwedeng hula, pwede chamba. Okay,
my
and
gosh.
all right, just some basic mechanics before we start. Okay, so I just have to ask. This is not, by the way, what the show's gonna look like. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a lot more high tech than this. We got buzzers, we've got
Yeah, of course.
graphics
This
and
is
everything.
just our version
Yeah,
of
this is
it. Yes.
It's a Beautiful Days version,
Yeah.
and so I'm just gonna stand here, gonna ask you 8 questions. Okay,
God. Oh my
and multiple choice. So when I'm done asking the question, just raise your hand. I know it's kind of low tech, no buzzers. First one to raise a hand, I call on you. If you're correct, then good for you, you get the point. If you're wrong, anyone can steal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if that person's wrong, the third anchor can steal.
Okay.
So Pao, Mo, and Anna, let's start. Okay, 8 questions. Let's begin with science, okay? Let's go back to your... This is probably late elementary, high school science. Okay.
My God.
Do you remember your periodical tables?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
My daughter does. Can I call a friend?
What is the chemical symbol for gold? A, Ag, B, Au, C, Pb, D, Fe. Pao.
B.
B.
Yeah.
Au.
AU.
As in our room. Au.
Yes.
Correct. That's correct.
Yes.
Whoa,
All right.
galing.
Wow.
Okay, well, first point goes to Pao. Not bad. Okay, science again. Let's see. Kung chamba lang yan. Okay. What is the powerhouse of the cell? Is it A, the nucleus, B, ribosome? I think you're first, Mo.
I'm gonna guess C, mitochondria.
Oh,
I
'cause
think
you
I
can
know.
see it. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was like wondering, how did you know
Sorry.
that?
I know David's like, wait, you
haven't
looked at me
gone
when
to
I
C
raised
yet.
my hand. I'm so sorry. No,
You're correct.
Yeah.
And he said,
And you said the system
Yeah.
of education in the U.S. is kind of... Yeah, mitochondria, okay?
Wait, so do we wait for you to finish the question first before we raise our
Okay,
hands?
sorry.
No,
Okay, all right. Okay,
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 because
okay.
it comes out anyway, so what's the point?
Okay,
Okay,
yeah. All right.
No, okay.
No, let's just wait for you.
Yeah, let's just wait for
We'll wait.
you
Sorry.
to finish the question, but
Yeah.
not the multiple choice.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
we'll wait for you to finish the question. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that was correct. So that was okay. Mitochondria. That's right. Generates energy in the cell. Perfect.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Question number 3. This is on literature. Okay. Okay, it's a bit tricky. Who is known as the father of free verse? A. Is it T.S. Eliot? B. Walt Whitman?
Oh my
C. Robert
gosh.
Frost? D. John Keats. Free verse. This is sometimes subjective because depending on the source, but we went through the sources earlier and only one name pretty much appears most of the time. Yeah, Mo.
I'm going to guess B.
B
Walt
is Walt Whitman.
No.
My captain, all that.
Yeah.
American poet. Correct. It is
Wow.
Walt Whitman.
actually thought it wouldn't have been Walt
3 out of
Whitman.
3
I
so
was
far.
also
You guys are
thinking,
good.
Walt Whitman.
Okay, you guys are humble. You said, we have 3 correct answers. By the way, they don't have the answers. This is not
I
scripted.
know.
This is not reality TV, quote unquote. This is the real thing. Okay, next, mathematics.
Oh my
Okay, I
God.
give
thought it
up
was no
now.
math.
But it's mental mathematics, okay?
Okay.
And actually,
Mental.
kind of like logic even. So if the probability of an event occurring is 0.25, what is the probability of it not occurring?
Okay.
So the opposite. A, 0.25, B, 0.50, C, 0.75, D, 1.
Right.
Oh my God.
Come on, it's just like, kind of logic on power.
I'm going to go guess C.
75, because that's the balance, right?
Yeah.
Correct. It is 75.
So, as a communication major, that
We got
got me
nervous on
scared.
that. All of us
I
were like,
must say, I'm impressed. You guys are 4 for 4 so
All right,
far.
perfect.
Okay. You should do a competition with the other show on Bilyonaryo.
oh, we totally should do
Okay.
that.
That's a special episode.
Question number 5. Science. What is the main, let me underline, main gas responsible for climate change or global warming? A, methane, B, carbon dioxide, C, nitrous oxide, or D, oxygen? Pao?
B, carbon dioxide.
That's correct. CO2, carbon dioxide. Of course, you could have said methane. It's also one of the gases, but not the main gas. The main gas that causes global warming is CO2. Okay, let's go to our next question in history.
What kind of history is this, though? Philippine history?
We'll find out.
World history.
Okay, world
The
history.
United Nations, wait, I want to make sure, okay, we're on the right page.
Oh my
The United
gosh.
Nations was founded in which year? Was it 1918, A, B, 1945, C, 1960, or D, 1975?
Oh my gosh.
I'll give you time. I'll give you
I
time.
don't know.
Think about it. What was happening the previous years that would have caused
I don't
the
know.
United Nations to be formed?
Yeah, 1918 was League of Nations. 1945 was after World War II. 1960 was
Like what world event was happened that would have needed the creation of this world body? So that the dates align with the
I'm
event.
so bad at
Maybe
dates kasi numbers eh. Let's just guess.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Let's just guess.
You go
Anna was
first.
No, because
Anna, go. Anna,
I'll guess. I think it's 1960. C.
1960. Okay, the age of decolonization. Might have been a good
Cold
answer,
War, actually.
But no, that's wrong. Mo?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess 1975. D.
1975. No, that's
No,
wrong.
it's 1945.
It's 1945.
Yeah.
We gave
World War
it to
II
we
happened,
gave it
right?
to
Yeah,
Paolo
World War II.
because
The
we gave
aftermath of World War II,
I
there
thought
was
it
a
was
need for a world body we could bring, that would
I was thinking the most
celebrate
recent.
peace and all that stuff.
Okay.
I thought it was 1950 actually. Like
You're
top of my-
It's 1945.
Yeah.
That's soon.
'Cause-
That's soon after
World War
I
II.
didn't think it was that.
Japan and Germany had just
early.
surrendered
Yeah.
in 45, and
Okay.
you have this October 24, 1945.
Wow.
San Francisco.
I
was
really thought
founded
it
in
was
San Francisco.
later.
Okay, let's go
Me
to the next
too.
one. Question number 7. This is world history. Oh, tama ba? Oh, let's update the scores.
I'm 0.
So Pao is 4 points, Mo is 2, Anna, you still have to answer.
And, yeah. she'll get there. She'll get there.
Unahan kasi. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so next question is world history again. So
Okay.
Another year.
Okay, so Paolo
Paolo knows
knows
this.
this.
the Berlin Wall fell in which year? A, 1987, B, 1989, C, 1991, D, 1993.
Girls.
No, ikaw na. We'll give this to you. The
Just
history
guess.
me.
I don't know.
We're all kind of close to each other, right? So it's tricky.
You can guess. Actually, I could be completely wrong. Kaya go ahead muna.
Of course, you guys weren't born yet. I was.
1987.
That's not correct.
Yeah. It's C, 1991.
That is wrong.
Wrong. There. Yeah. I knew it. Yeah. You're
Oh
right.
no, I will
Mo,
guess B.
You only have 2 left.
You have
B,
2 left.
1989.
That's
Because
correct,
I know
that's correct.
I was
Yeah.
born 93, so
Yeah.
that's my favorite year.
Yeah.
That's right, 1989. I
So
mean,
the world was trembling because I was on my way.
so
No, you're
1989.
right. You're right. 91. Yeah. I thought it was 90.
But tricky question because like some of those would be the fall of the Soviet Union.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But 89 was the reunification of Germany, the beginning of the reunification
Oh,
of
that's
Germany,
so
the fall of the
interesting.
Berlin Wall. All right, you guys are
goodness.
good. So, okay, so let's invite our viewers to join Bilyonaryo Quiz B. Let's, Anne?
Well, of course, Bilyonaryo Quiz B happening very soon.
That's
we
right.
Flashed the
QR code.
a while ago for those who want to apply.
Yeah, and it's actually so fun. We were so nervous, but it's actually fun. And you never know until you try. I had no idea I knew half the questions.
So you can still join. It's all until Friday. You can register for Bilyonaryo Quiz B.
Yeah, so we're gonna show the call for applications again on the screen. There it is. You can screenshot that right now. Send it to all your friends. Send it to those who want to compete for a chance soon. If I'm not mistaken, David, around $1 million pesos in terms of
Just for the grand prize, but a lot of other cash prizes for the eliminations, semifinals. There are bonus rounds where you can earn more money. And of course, the prestige of being the first Bilyonaryo Quiz B champion.
Yeah, so college kids, sign up for this. You don't want to miss this at all.
That's right. If you're watching this is just a teaser.
Yeah.
In fact, these questions are a bit on the easy side for them, at least.
for them.
For them. This would be like maybe the easy round
Right,
questions. Okay? Easy round questions and not even multiple choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So talagang
exactly.
we're really testing the smartest kids on the block, so to speak.
Oh my
I am
goodness.
excited.
That's gonna be crazy.
I mean, this is tough. Like, we've been out of school for so long, right?
Yeah, it's been
Ask
a
us about
minute.
sports, about news, current
Yeah.
events. Of course, we can answer, right? But these are like high school questions, and you kind of like put in the back of your brain.
Right?
Yeah. It's so interesting. And if I'm not mistaken, do we have one more question or are we
Yeah.
done?
We have one more question.
We have
I
one more
think we're
question?
done.
Okay, so let's do the score. So Pao is the
I think Pao won.
champion.
Oh, I'm
By
one score
one.
behind you.
Congratulations,
4,
Pao!
Mo, and 3.
So he wears
Pao.
glasses again.
I wore my glasses. Na-stress ako, guys, okay? I had to put on the glasses.
Because this was your idea.
When Mo came up with the third point and I thought there was one more question, I actually got scared.
Actually, there was one more question, but I ran out of time.
Yeah.
I gave you carbon monoxide. I didn't raise my hand
No,
fast
carbon
enough.
dioxide.
Carbon
Yeah, yeah,
dioxide.
Maybe for
Monoxide.
just for sayang, I like this question. For our viewers, maybe you can want to answer.
Okay,
Yeah,
Maybe you
sure.
want to answer.
Go,
Viewers,
go,
here's a
go.
question. We won't ask you to answer.
All right, go
We'll
ahead.
give them
Okay.
a few seconds to answer in their
All
own
right.
homes, in their own offices. Then I'll go back to you. Maybe you can just quickly
Okay.
answer. Okay, so the final question should have been, what is the largest desert in the world? Is that Sahara Desert A? Is it the Arabian Desert B? Is it the Gobi Desert C? Or is it the Antarctic Desert, letter D? Okay, think about it. Think about it. Anyone?
All right. Oh my gosh, I should know this, but I don't.
This is like geography.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And yeah, the interesting thing is you just have to like Siri or whatever, and it's just there
Right?
in
Yeah.
1 second.
Hey Siri, what's the largest?
But then this is why the show is so interesting, because it's like, sometimes we become so reliant
my
on
goodness.
Yeah, honestly.
on searches. And no. You're
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm just gonna go out on a limb.
I'll
here.
go on all. Okay, Pao, what's
right.
your guess?
Yeah. I'll go C. Gobi.
Gobi Desert in China, Mongolia. You
Yeah.
and Anna,
Same. Gobi Desert.
Mo?
I'm gonna go A.
Sahara.
You're all wrong. It's the Antarctic
Antarctic.
Desert.
You see, I felt like a.
It's like a
So
trick question
yeah,
because
exactly.
like, it's cold,
Yeah.
but the desert doesn't have to be hot.
Yeah.
Just has to be like low precipitation
Yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Oh.
interesting.
Oh my gosh,
Interesting.
I
And
learned
think-
something today.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Again, that's the type of knowledge that you can get
Yeah.
in the Bilyonaryo Quiz B happening very soon. If I'm not mistaken, you get to work after the Holy Week period.
That's right. So
Yes.
in May, we'll announce the dates, but yeah, as soon as May, we'll have the first episode, and then tuloy-tuloy na yan until the grand finals, grand championship.
All
I am
Right.
so looking forward to this. David, thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank you for
much.
having me.
We had
We'll see
such
each other
a
more.
fun
Yes,
show.
that's right. Once again, that was Bilyonaryo Quiz B host David Celdran, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Pretty good.
Oh my
You
goodness.
guys did well.
Thank you. Oh.
Stress kami.
Buti may multiple choice.
I
diba?
know.
All right, so for our coffee lovers after the break, I'll be talking to Dr. Ogie Fuentes, the president of the Davao del Sur State College, to discuss their new coffee center, which empowers Davao Sur farmers. Stay tuned, it's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Weather HQ on It's a Beautiful Day. Thank you so much for joining us. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Now, the Regional Coffee Innovation Center and Museum, or RCIC, represents a major step forward for the coffee farmers of Davao del Sur and Mindanao, offering not only a platform for innovation and education, but also an opportunity for local farmers to evaluate and even enhance their coffee products. Now, this exciting new initiative promises to revitalize the region's coffee industry, help farmers thrive amidst the challenges that they face, and ultimately preserve the rich history and culture of coffee in the region. To know more about this, we are joined via Zoom by the President of Davao del Sur State College, Dr. Ogie Fuentes. Magandang umaga po, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us on It's a Beautiful Day.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad and I'm happy in being invited to this episode.
Doc, alam mo, we can feel yung joy, we can feel the happiness. Thank you so much for joining us. Unang-una po, can you tell us a bit about yung vision kung bakit po meron na coffee center sa Davao del Sur State College po?
Yeah, I'm proud to share with you our Regional Coffee Innovation Center and Museum right here in Davao del Sur State College, Digos, Davao del Sur. Yes.
All right, ma'am, medyo nahihirapan po kami sa connection. So yung gagawin po namin, we're gonna try and find a way to fix this connection or maybe even get you on a phone patch at the moment po. So ayusin po namin yung connection nyo for the meantime. But for those wondering, yes, there is going to be a coffee, there is rather a Regional Coffee Innovation Center and Museum over in Digos in Davao. So we're going to go on a quick gap here to try and fix that connection to get Dr. Fuentes back on the line. So stay tuned. You're still watching Weather HQ.
Hello and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, heto na! It's time for us to find out if today is going to be a good day, a lucky day for us, or not. Let's hear it from our resident Feng Shui Master, Hans Kua, for our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans! Yeah.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for Monday, March 31. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, huwag hayaang masira ang relasyon dahil sa pride. Maging open sa pag-uusap. Blue at 9. Kay Ox naman tayo, mag-focus sa task na pag-angat sa posisyon. Pink at 6. Tiger naman tayo, mag-ingat sa nagpapanggap online. Hindi lahat ay nagsasabi ng totoo. Yellow at 4. Rabbit naman tayo, makikita ng boss ang iyong effort, kaya magpursige. Green at 8. Kay Dragon naman, don't forget to eat your fruits and vegetable para strong tayo. Gray at 1. Kay Snake naman, mag-ingat sa mga taong biglaan nagiging sweet kung may hinihingi. White at 2. Ito na! Man, kay of the Horsey, may pag-usap sa mentor upang magabayan sa career path. Purple at 3. Shift naman tayo maglaan ng oras sa pag-aaral ng bagong tools sa trabaho. Orange at 5. Kay Monkey naman na huwag matakot humingi ng tulong sa mga kasamahan kung kinakailangan. Blue at 9. Rooster naman tayo magplano ng maayos para hindi matambakan ng mga gawain. Pink at 6. Kay Dog naman, may bagong responsibilidad na darating. Embrace the challenge. Yellow at 4. Kay Piggy naman tayo, ang pagiging flexible ay magdadala ng bagong new opportunities. Green at 1. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang nga, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day!
Thank you so much, Master Hans Kua. He was here actually Friday, and I was able to meet him, and I was like, Master Hans, it's my birthday. Can you give me some good luck? And then he was like, swerte ka na, swerte ka na.
Did it work?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for the suerte to come. But thank you. It was so nice to meet Master Hans in person. It was so exciting. And he's actually more quiet than his energy on TV.
No, what I like about him, because we all got a chance to meet him last Friday, and we all met him separately. Buti na lang, kasi feeling ko we would overwhelm him. Pero, it was nice. It was nice talking to him and just chatting, and of course, we appreciate what he does for the show.
Yes,
And, we love the fact that every time he comes on, tumataas yung energy levels natin. Especially Mo, kasi si Mo becomes so confused after every horoscope.
It's a Tagalog word.
Kasi she's trying to translate.
I tried to translate
real
and
time.
actually, Master Hans came up to me when I said, oh, hi, Master Hans, I'm Monique. He's like, oo nga, ikaw yung English share na hindi mo alam yung sinasabi ko. I was like, exactly, Master Hans. So, from now on, we will English now.
Okay,
we will English now. Anyway. Oh my God.
I mean, it's so great, Master Hans coming on. But, at the moment, if you don't mind, I'm going to try to get back to see Dr. Fuentes a while ago, who I was talking to for the coffee center over in Davao, the Davao del Sur State College. Doc Fuentes, are we back? Okay na po yung connection natin? All right. So it looks like Doc Fuentes is on the line. Doc Fuentes, could you hear us?
Yes po, sir.
Ayun, mas maayos na po. Thank goodness. Okay, balikan po natin yung pinag-uusapan natin. There is that Regional Coffee Innovation Center and Museum. Una-una po, paano ito nagsimula? And of course, why was it important for this to happen dyan po sa Davao del Sur State College? And how will it benefit po yung mga farmers sa Davao del Sur at Mindanao?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir. And thank you much for inviting me in this episode of Bilyonaryo News Channel. Yeah, we really is humbly sharing this Regional Coffee Innovation Center and the museum of our college, the Davao del Sur State College, right here established in our campus. And I believe this is a game changer facility that we thought of for the coffee industry here in Mindanao. We see the RCIC being created to ignite the growth and the coffee industry in the province and Mindanao as a whole by providing a hub for innovation, research, and development of our coffee farmers. So we actually intend to improve the quality and productivity of coffee farms in the province and the region as a whole. Ultimately, of course, to increase the income of coffee farmers by providing training, technical assistance, and access to new technology. The center will, I believe, empower coffee farmers to enhance their skills and knowledge and implement the good manufacturing or agricultural practices in coffee production.
Ma'am, ano po yung mga services na provide ng RCIC?
Right now, our coffee facility has expanded. We started with just a small room where we conducted sensory analysis of our coffee samples, capping laboratory kind of for samples that are submitted by our farmers here. And right now we expanded other services, like of course laboratory analysis, and we added in here a very exciting highlight of the facility, the museum, where we want to showcase or display the culture and heritage of coffee in the province and Davao region. And on top of the second floor of the building is visitors and locals will end up sipping a cup of coffee because we have a coffee shop.
Opo. Ma'am, if I'm not mistaken po, may seed to cup experience po kayo for the tourists and of course for those who want to learn more about coffee. Gaano ka-importante po yung role ng RCIC in terms of enhancing yung appreciation ng local coffee po sa Davao?
Yes, sir. We depict or display the acid to cup experience. Actually, it would be an experiential tourism and education a type of the experience that we want to have for our visitors and locals is to appreciate through experiential learning, and we will be introducing to them in-house and farm level activities. In the farm level, we'd be in partnership with our coffee farmers, especially those winners in the Philippine coffee quality competition, which is done annually. Those winners that really produce or who really produce specialty coffee. So in the seed to cup experience, we wanted to have an immersive learning experience. Locals or visitors may have hands-on participation in every stage of coffee production. So it provides somehow like a tangible understanding of our visitors of the labor and dedication required to produce high-quality coffee. And of course, they may engage in enabling them to see, touch, and smell, and even taste the different stages of coffee production.
Yeah. I think, Doc, pasensya na po, I have to interrupt you there kasi first of all, sana I believe that the tasting would be one of the more interesting parts for yung mga tourists niyo po. But also, yung agriculture, yung RCIC po, if I'm not mistaken, is also equipped to help yung mga current farmers po adapt to yung climate change ngayon, adapt to the changing landscape of yung climate dito po sa Pilipinas. Gaano po ka-importante yung edukasyon para sa mga current coffee farmers sa Davao del Sur to make sure na tumataas niya yung kalidad ng kape nila?
Yeah, thank you, sir. The RCIC will of course play a vital role in equipping coffee farmers with the knowledge and resources that they need to adapt and thrive even in the face of climate change and other challenges we are facing from time to time, sir. The SSC, as an academic institution, is a state college with niche program in agriculture, and of course, that's not existed in confronting the climate change and other challenges. So we look at some ways where we can address this with our farmers. Of course, informing them about climate change, coffee production, where we can provide training on the type of coffee varieties which can withstand changing water conditions, such as those drought tolerant or disease resistant varieties. Right now, we have an ongoing research on this, sir, at the foot of Mount Apu, and hope we can identify which of the varieties which were introduced from foreign countries who are producing also coffee, that these varieties could also thrive here in Mindanao, particularly in Mount Apo. So we wanted to also have precision agriculture, such as, of course, teaching farmers on soil mapping, weather monitoring, and even irrigation, precision irrigation. So their coffee plants and farms would really survive even changes in weather and the change in climate. Yeah, that's it, sir.
Well, Doc, you know what? I wish we had more time to talk to you po. Unfortunately, we had the connection errors problems a while ago. At sana po, next time we have a chance to talk to you, sana live po or baka nandun ako sa Davao. So we'll see if that could be the case in the future. But for the moment po, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for joining us. She's the president of the Davao del Sur State College and of course talking about the Regional Coffee Innovation Center and Museum over in Digos in Davao del Sur. So if you're around the area, make sure you check them out. Maraming salamat po, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning, and that is it for us this Monday, March 31 on It's a Beautiful Day. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for spending your Monday with us.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Make this last Monday of March unforgettable by choosing joy and spreading love and kindness wherever you go.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great Monday ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Only here on
It's a Beautiful Day.